Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. So I'm doing a little quick tip video today, and it's not based on anything really specific to this Squier Stratocaster here. But this Squier Stratocaster suffers from an issue that a lot of guitars do, and that is a pretty significant dent in the fretboard. Now the removal technique I'm going to try today involves some steam and a soldering iron, but in order to get access to this dent, I'm going to go ahead and have to disassemble this guitar. Alright, so I've got the neck separated from the body and all the strings are out of the way, so I can now address this dent. In the interest of time, I've gone ahead and cleaned up the areas between the nut and the first, second, and third frets. The damage is in the area between the first and second frets, and it's right here on the side, and I'll give you some really good pictures of that, some still pictures that'll show you exactly what that looks like. It's a little bit pushed in on the side and just a tiny bit pushed in on the top. Now what I'm going to use to try to fix this is heat and essentially steam. So I've got a little cotton cloth here and it's wetted down with some filtered water, and I'm just going to put it right here over the damaged area, and then we're going to hit it with a soldering iron that's on medium heat. Okay, well I'm seeing some moisture, but it's not getting hot enough, so I'm going to have to turn the soldering iron up. The main reason I feel like it's not hot enough at this point is it's more wet than it is hot, and I'm not seeing a lot of steam coming off the towel. Okay, well it does seem to be working some now. You can see that I've got a little bit of a brown area on this towel, and that's really just dirt that's coming off the soldering iron. It's not actually burning that towel. I don't want that to happen. I'm going to keep going on this, and I'll come back whenever I've made a little bit more progress. Alright, well this one was difficult because it was on a corner, but I heated it from both directions and I've gotten most of it out. It's never going to be perfect if it's a big ding like this one, and this one is not quite perfect, but it's just about as good as I'm going to be able to get it. I'll get some nice close-up pictures of it now. I think it's pretty significant, and it definitely feels better to the touch. Now when I was cleaning this up earlier, I used a razor blade to scrape away the very top of the finish on the rosewood. It's not really a finish, it's more like sweat and wear and oil buildup. But anyway, I wanted all that scraped away because as I'm steaming this in, I don't want to just be steaming a bunch of dirt and oily mess. But I can use the same razor blade to come back in and try to just fine-tune that edge on the edge of the fretboard, just like when I was scraping away some of the top of the fretboard. Another tool that I'll come in here and deal with later is a fret bevel. I'll just go along the edge of the fretboard here, and that just helps take just a tiny bit of material away and just further uniform that surface there. And I think by the time I'm done with this, you really won't be able to tell it ever happened. Alright, well some of that file work and definitely some of the heat will take some of the finish off the side of the neck. But to restore this finish on the side of the neck, I'm just going to use a little bit of this wiping poly. This is branded as a tung oil finish, but it blends in with polyester finishes just fine, and it'll look like part of it when it's done. You don't want this on the top of the fretboard, just the side. When that dries, you'll hardly be able to see the repair. Now it's been about a day since I applied that finish, and after it dries, you want to go back over it really lightly with a very fine steel wool just to take any of the burrs or anything like that out, and it really helps it blend in perfectly with the other finish. So you really can't see any difference between the side of this fretboard and the back. Now the last step that I did, and you can tell the color difference in these first three frets from earlier parts of this video, but the last thing that I did was clean up the entire rest of the fretboard. Same technique that I used with these three frets of scraping the tops with a razor blade. Then I came in with a lemon oil product on a fine steel wool pad and just did the whole fretboard again. And I plan on doing a quick tip video on cleaning a fretboard, so I'm not going to go through that whole process now. But you can tell right now that all of the areas between all the frets blend in just perfectly, and everything looks good as new. Well, thank you all for hanging out. Be sure to check out my other quick tips series and look for my upcoming videos. Thank you all for all the likes and the comments. I really appreciate the subscriptions. I love it when you visit my Amazon links. Be sure to check out our new Facebook group, and I'll see you guys next time.